Hello and welcome to Market Trap, Bloomberg Quint Market Trap. Today it's been a good, not so good session of performance for that matter. Last hour of the trade, but then was a saving grace for the Nifty. 9,500 mark is taken, but then again we are looking at some kind of losses for the month of June. It's been the worst June ever in over 3 years. As far as the weekly losses are concerned, it's been third straight losses for the market for that matter. And just to quickly run down through the top gainers and the losers for the week, may I just quickly look into the chart. That is Bank of Baroda, ITC and Sun Pharmaceutical Industries are the top gainers on the list that we have. And on the losing side, we have Tata Motors, Tech Mahindra and Tata Power for that matter, which have ended the day in red with losses of around 1 to 2 odd % in the range about that. Jayesh, how is the space? How is the mid-cap space looking for that matter?
But before we go to the mid-cap space, let's introduce our guest, Amit Jiswani, founder of Stallion Asset. Amit, for the market itself, Nifty in particular, the long-term structure intact or some bit of weakness creeping in?
So my belief is that there might be time corrections happening in the market. This market will not go below 9100. We're looking at 11,200 levels in the next 1 year probably. GST is a short-term problem, and we are very confident about the markets hitting higher, but downside risk is limited to 3%, 4%.
3%, that brings it to about 91, 92.
We don't even see, I would say that the 90% probability that 9100 will not be broken.
All right, sir.
GST kicks in tomorrow. Any specific sectors that we need to keep an eye out for?
See, what we see is that we're not actually playing the GST trade per se for our personal portfolio. There is plywood is one space where there's a lot of unorganized sector, but which player has the capacity? Green ply doesn't have the capacity. What stocks would you play? So the problem is that there is no good stocks to play the GST theme. Logistics is one space which everyone is trying to play. We're not trying to play that space. Just the capex backed model, we don't try to play that space at all.
Anything interesting that you're finding just with the GST kicking in, or you?
So we are right now on a personal portfolio. We have not recommended any GST based stocks to our clients.
Sure. From GST to pharma, most of the guests that we've been talking to of late, they have been bearish on pharma. But June has completely proved them wrong. Today itself, the best sectoral index for the month of June, the best sectoral index again with gains of about 6.5%. What's your take on the pharma?
So I would divide the pharma index in two parts: the American pharma and the pharma in the emerging market. The companies selling to American market, they're facing problems. Okay. Indian pharma companies have pricing problems. So be out of that space. For retail investors to make money, they need to chase growth. Where will you see growth? 25-30% growth for the next many years. Pharma is not a space where you can see 25-30% growth for the next many years. But there's one side of the market, which is selling to the emerging markets. That is companies like Kaplan Point Labs, Loris Labs. Those kind of companies will keep doing well for the foreseeable future because that's where the large opportunity is. US is now a crowded market. Margins are going to fall. Sun Pharma has given bad guidance. So if you want to, you won't get rich playing that next 10%. Sun Pharma goes to 600, but that's not really going to change your lifestyle or change. That's not what we do. Your wealth will be created catching long-term trends, and pharma is just not in the trend.
Kaplan Point, do you have a target price? Because that has been, on the radar of many people.
So we don't actually have a target price on Kaplan Point, or we never even have target prices for any of our stocks. So the way we see it, till the time there is growth in the stock, we are there. Okay. The day the growth slows down, we're out of the stock.
All right, sure.
So let's say the space that we are in a lot right now is the NBFC space. So till the time they're growing at more than 30%, which I believe they will for the next 2-3 years, we're there. Like PNB Housing Finance, it grew at 40% this quarter. The last 4-5 years growing at 50%. So what we do is till the time it grows at more than 30% or NPAs are less than 0.75%, we are long that story. The day they start growing at 20%, we're out of it. So when we buy a stock, you'll be actually buying expectations of earnings growth, and let's see how that plays out.
Sure, fair enough.
Jayesh, before you can just give a wrap up to the mid-cap space, I'd like to ask about yet another weak counter, which is IT. Anything interesting that you find in that space for that matter at this given point of time?
We did actually, the services place is just gone. It's not there. So for us, there's no way these guys can grow at 20, 25, 30%. So we growth investors, we do not play the 5, 10% story at all. This product space is one space where we did take speculative positions last year. We took positions in Kelton Tech, but we've sold out. So you need to take it at a time, and there'll be mid caps there. So there won't be any large players, but there'll be new players in the IT market, but they'll be all from the product space. There is no way services can do well for the next many years. See, IBM was doing buybacks for the last 5 years. What's happened to the stock price? Right? There's no returns whatsoever. Warren Buffett just sold his holding. So buybacks and all can give you 5-10% returns. Those returns won't create any wealth for investors. So we're not bullish on the IT space at all.
Absolutely, Amit. Well, as far as the mid cap index is concerned, it ended the day with gains of about 0.4%. Have a look at the individual gainers and losers. From the winners list, we did see GVK Power and Infra gaining as much as 18%. VST Industries running up 12%. Blue Dart, Kesoram Industries all running about 8% each. On the losers end, we had Dr. Lal Pathlabs after that block deal ended the day with a loss of about 6.5%. Interglobe Aviation, down with about 5.8% losses. India Bulls Real Estate again down about 4.5%. I mean, in the mid cap space, are you exploring some new themes? Because right now what's happening is that it's become difficult to make your trade. What are the new themes that you're exploring?
So right now we've just bought one infrastructure company. Now this is a space we've been away for a very long time. I'll just give you a brief story about the stock that we've bought. The stock that we've bought right now is Dilip Buildcon. This company executes 90% of its projects before time. This company has a market cap of 6,000 crores, has order book of 18,000 crores. By the end of this year, they'll close the order book at 25,000 crores. We're looking at large gains there. And infrastructure, we strongly believe that Dilip Buildcon and infrastructure will be the space. Dilip Buildcon in the infrastructure space will be the stock to look out for. It is unbelievable the track record that they have, execution of more than 90% of the projects before time. That's the bet that we have taken, and it's a great valuations as well right now.
Sure. Thank you so much, Amit. We'll let you go on that note. With that, we have come to the end of the last trading day of the week, the first trading day of the FNO expiry. But you stay tuned into Bloomberg Quint. Thank you so much for watching.